Oh, what an epic day, you guys. Look at these fall colors. Thought I'd try and get some fall riding in before the snow hits. So I also thought I'd give you guys some tips on braking. I got 5 tips for you guys, so I'll go through all 5 of them throughout the video. But the first one, you know, you guys, it's perfect time of the year too to get into this, because it's fall time, all these wet leaves and the wet logs, and it's kind of slick. It's quite slick actually, but these 5 braking tips are going to give you guys, they'll definitely help. You can't go fast without stopping, right? So the first one is to be gradual, not sudden. So don't, you know, think anti-lock brakes. You want to just be gradual with them and nice and smooth. You know, it helps keep you upright when the wheels are turning. Don't, you know, have you ever tried to lock up your brakes like quickly? You just end up on your head and it doesn't work at all. So that's probably one of the most important ones, is just be gradual, think anti-lock brakes. You want to keep the tires rotating. You know, all these wet leaves and the mud and the logs and all that. Always want your wheels rotating, never locked up. Unless you're doing like, you know, a brake turn where you want to lock it up a little bit, or at least close to locking it up so it slides into the corner a little nicer. We'll get into that in another video. Right now I'm just talking, you know, some of the basics of braking, and that applies to, you know, my gas dirt bikes, electric dirt bikes, mountain bikes, pretty much anything with wheels. That's just the principle. You want to keep your wheels rotating. So smooth, not sudden, nice and gradual. So yeah, tip number 2, you guys. Okay, this ties in with number 1 pretty much perfectly, and it's tip number 2, let the tires roll, or keep the tires rolling. So here's a perfect demonstration of what I mean, you guys, by keeping the tires rolling. The minute you lock up that rear brake, or even the front brake, turns into a real mess. But the back brake especially, because it just quickly washes out. The tire looks for downhill. So if you're on a side hill like this, as soon as you lock up that rear brake, it just washes out and goes downhill. So you always want to keep them rolling. So that's why I mean it ties in with number 1, is just, you know, smooth and gradual with the brakes, always keeping the tires rolling if you can. You know, there's going to be certain situations where you want to lock the tires up, but not very often. You always want to keep it rolling. So, right on. Okay, you guys, so number 3 is a good one, you guys, because it has a lot to do with hills too, which I'm also going to cover. But number 3, keep your weight back on descents. So whenever you're going downhill, you guys want to keep your weight shifted back. That goes for like wet leaves, you know, muddy downhills, anything like that. If you guys shift your weight slightly back, well, depending how steep it is, you might want to shift it way back. That keeps your braking more effective in the rear, because you're shifting the weight over the rear tire. It also helps the bike track straight too. So if you got, you know, your weight's back and you're going a little harder on the rear brake, and then you got your weight shifted back over the rear tire, you're pushing maximum traction into the ground. So it really makes a big difference, you guys. I hope that helps. Definitely, I'm going to cover hills and stuff too in an upcoming episode, so stay tuned for that. Stick around to the end too. Number 5, you guys, is by far the most important, like without a question. So right on. So number 4, you guys, this is one of my favorites too, and it's hard to get into this one because there's a lot to it. But the basics of it is, number 4, release for bumps. So what I mean by that is, you guys, if you're coming up to your bumps, or you're going through some, you know, you're coming up to a big hump or bump like this one behind me, for example, you want to release before the bump so that your suspension can compress and rebound like it's supposed to. But the general rule is to just you know, ease into your brakes before the bump, release, and then, you know, do the bump or obstacle, and then you can, you know, continue to brake or whatever. But it just helps keep the bike and, you know, the suspension more compliant. You know, it can't work because when you're under hard braking, it's compressing. That's how I'm able to do tricks like this. And I got how-tos how to do nose wheelies as well on my channel. So I'll link a card to that right here. And that's basically has to do with number 1 and number 2, you know, gradual braking. You got to be confident. I've always loved braking because you can't do anything else. You can't go fast or do anything without knowing how to brake, right? Everybody can go fast, but can you stop in a nice controlled way? So yeah, number 4, release for the bumps, you guys. And that's an intuitive one because it makes a lot of sense when you get the hang of it. So I hope that helps you guys. Stick around for number 5. It's the most important one. Hello everybody, surprise. So as promised you guys, number 5, keep your rotors clean. And this is going to be a 2-part number 5. So the first thing I would say is keep your rotors clean, you guys. That means fork seal leaks are notorious for getting your brake pads contaminated, and your braking goes to like 50%, sometimes to 0. So same with brake fluid. You don't want any brake leaks, obviously, because that contaminates your rotors and then that gets into the brake pads. So definitely keep an eye on keeping your rotors clean, you guys. And here's the most important tip I can give you guys for braking. Keep your rotors straight. Keep an eye on them. Make sure they're not bent. I'm guilty of it right now myself. I have one of my bikes at home and I've been too lazy to fix it, but I will fix it. But what that does is when your rotor's going fast, when you're riding fast, your rotor's going like this back and forth, and that knocks the brake pads apart back into the calipers. So when you go to use your brakes, you have to actually move the fluid back to push the pistons so the pads come back into contact with your rotor. So keep an eye on all your rotors, make sure they're straight. Like there's tolerances, you guys, manuals, you know, look up the specs for your bikes. I mean, you can usually put it on a stand, spin the wheel, you'll see if a rotor's bent, but keep an eye on those. Some of them you can bend back too. I've had good luck with that, but probably the biggest tip I can give you guys about braking, keep an eye on your rotors, keep them clean, keep them straight. Make sure you guys check out my riding lessons, go down to the playlists, all my off-road. There's quite a few videos in there. I'll put a card right here. And I got lots more videos like this coming, you guys. Let me know if you let me know what you guys think about these little videos like this. And make sure you guys hit the subscribe button right on. Check this mountain bike jump out, you guys. This is a nice little booter. Watch this. I'm not even giving it gas. In fact, I have to hit brakes. Whoa, drop right up and over the mountain. That's the mountain bike guys built that for a video way back or something. I don't know the story. I was just surprised to find it one day. And my jumping days are long gone. If you guys want to know about my jumping days, go back and look at my new intro. That's got, I did freestyle motocross for 10 years of my life. I was actually a pioneer in the sport starting in the 90s alongside guys like Brian Deegan, Mike Metzger, and you know, Pastrana, all those kind of guys. I rode with all those guys back in the day. From about the mid 90s to 2006, or late 90s, I guess. Mid 90s I started, but late 90s I was doing it professionally up until about 2006. So that explains lots of my aches and pains nowadays. But right on, you guys. Definitely stay tuned. I got lots in store for my YouTube channel. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. Don't be scared. Right on. See you on the next one. Drop and then land on the downslope. Pretty sweet.